Good morning, good morning. This is the view that I have from the second floor. I am at Kaizen Coffee, and there's two locations in Bangkok, and I'll get into this place in a few minutes. Here comes my breakfast. Thank you. Let me show you this. Let me show you what I got here. I don't have any forks. I don't have anything to eat with. Thank you. All right, so let me show you this here real quick. So, this is just a piece of bread with mozzarella, tomato, and then there's the egg. I thought they were going to put the egg on top of it. I don't know. I can do that, but anyway, this place is on Ekamai, and I'll be honest. I came into this. Came into coming to this place with somewhat high expectations. I thought, oh, this place is going to be fantastic. It looks to be just like Sarni's, which it's not. And to be honest, the espresso is somewhat expensive. This espresso, 135 baht. That's more expensive than Starbucks. That's more expensive than any place that I've been. I hope you guys can hear me all right. If you can't, I'll put the mic on, but it's just in front of me. So it's expensive. Then I came in here, there's nobody here. Carlos, good morning, how you doing? Yes, it's time for a little bit of grub, and I'm hoping that the food is good, because as I was saying, it looks good. It looks really good, to be honest. Hopefully it tastes good. I had high expectations for this place, and I came in, and the music is, listen, you can hear the music. I mean, it's loud, and I'm like, who are they playing the music for? Good morning, Daniel. All right, that's good. It's really good. But I came in here, there's nobody here. They open up at 7:30. I came here at about 8:30. There's nobody here, and they got the music, it's just like it is now, it's blaring. If I was sitting downstairs, I couldn't hear myself think. I couldn't talk to somebody else. I don't know how they are doing it here. I don't know what they expect when you have people sitting downstairs. And the thing is, I'm upstairs. I came upstairs because I didn't want to sit downstairs where the music was so loud. It's still loud. I am on Ekamai. That's good. But a few things in my review here that I'm gonna just talk about, because I forgot the paper with my news on it. Egg is pretty good too. Yeah. Those prices, it better be fantastic and do back. Yeah. Listen. I looked online before coming here yesterday, and I went, wow, that's pricey. 135 baht for an espresso. This is the same price as in the United States, if not more. And I don't like it. It irritates me that it's that high. But I thought, okay, I'll give it a shot. Now, the value is not here. It's not a good value. Sorry. Before I get started, Mr. Gennaro, the real Gennaro by name. Good morning. Air quality is 135. Thai baht is 34.66 to the dollar, which is not bad. Temperature's 81. It's freezing in here. To be honest, they have the air on, but it's okay. High of 93, low of 75, and the feel-like temperature right now is 84. 65 rather, is the humidity. Now, I was thinking about this. Let me just write this down here, because I'm coming up with, and I should be making live a website fairly soon. I have all the criteria, I have the places, I have places I want to go, and they have a full menu here. They have morning, I'm looking here at morning special, breakfast combo, 400, and well, now there's customers. There's about 4 customers. There's 2 girls sitting off to my right here. There's a guy downstairs, and there's another couple of people, and there's 2 people sitting outside. So the customers are starting to show up. But all in all, you know, I mean, I wanted more from this place. But I am putting together some criteria, and those criteria are the following. First of all, the taste. The taste of the coffee has to be good. Now, I will say this. I bashed on the coffee place that Andy and Dowlo and I went to, where I met them. I bashed that place severely. It's really, I mean, you know, it's where a gas station is, so you can't expect that much. But I expected decent coffee. It wasn't decent. This is Ekamai. It's not that far from my house, really, because there was no traffic. I mean, I got here in about 20 minutes, which is pretty good. But the taste has to be good. Yesterday, I went out. I'm like, I want to get a new coffee place just in the mall. I know there's probably 25 places in the mall. I said, I'll go to the mall. I look over, I see Intanin Coffee, which is a Thai chain here. And I've never been there. Or maybe I've been there a long time ago, I don't remember. I look over there and I thought, maybe I'll go there. Then I look to my right and there's Koti Coffee. I thought, I've never heard of Koti Coffee. I've heard of Intanin, I can go there anytime. There's chains, it's a chain, there's places all over the place. I go to Koti Coffee. What I'll say is Koti Coffee is on par. I would say it's lesser than the place I went to meet Andy and Dowlo. And I got a cappuccino. They had no espresso there. That right there should have been a sign. There's no espresso. It's a coffee place. That's the thing. Coffee is in their name, and they don't have espresso. That was a big downer right there. I thought to myself, what kind of place that sells coffee doesn't have espresso? I look in the back. They have these machines, and they're the kind of machines like, it's like Taubin, where you push a button and something comes out. So they're not handling they just put the beans in the machine and that's it. They don't do anything. So it's good for them, but it's not good for the people drinking the coffee, because I said, I tell you what, I'll get a cappuccino. It's only 50 baht. I get the cappuccino, it tastes like milk. There was no coffee. I'm like, this is terrible. This is not good. So by the time I got to the bottom, it started to taste a little bit like coffee. But that is a place that it's a Chinese chain. So just saying that ought to tell you something. And I try to give, for something like this, I would try to be neutral, simply because it's a Chinese chain. So, okay, let's see what it is. Well, it wasn't very good. In my opinion, it was, maybe I got a bad cup or something. And that kind of set the mood for the day. I was like, I'm not going to get a good cup of coffee in this place. So, not only that, and as I might have mentioned, Starbucks has raised their prices again. Again. So, their double espresso is 115 baht. And all the coffee shops are starting to raise the prices so that they can be more in line with Starbucks. Andy, I'm just talking about you. I went to a coffee shop yesterday that was below the coffee shop that you and I went to. The quality was unacceptable. It tastes like milk, the coffee. And it was very bland. So maybe I got a bad coffee. Maybe they need to revise the machine and how everything is set up. I almost went and said to the girl, hey, listen, I want you to taste this coffee. I almost went to her and said that. And what's the same price as Starbucks? This place is more expensive than Starbucks, which is, to me, is a little disappointing. And I don't understand it. I know this is an expensive area. Something else. I know that we're supposed to get with the technology and we're supposed to understand that nowadays things are done a bit differently. But when I got here, the girl says to me, oh, if you want the full menu, you gotta scan the little QR code and then you'll see everything. I'm like, well, you have a menu right here. Is this not the full menu? Oh, well, no, not really. And I went, oh, I don't want to have, all I want is just give me the menu. I don't want to have to look on my phone. I don't want to have to do all that. I don't want all that. That kind of irritated me. But this food is very good. And the coffee is good. I'll say that. For 135 baht, though, it better be good. And like Carlos said, the thing better be doing backflips. Better give me a hand job. But it's not. So the value is not there. Let's just get it right there. The taste is good. Taste is good. Service. All right, the girl told me about the menu. The service is good. It's not great. Nothing is great here. The food is good. The allure of this place, the draw of this place, it's on the side of Ekamai. And I don't know if this is a business building or what it is, but I missed it. We're driving along in a taxi. The taxi driver drove past it. I gotta put my glasses on. Sawadee krap. Sawadee. We drove by this place. I don't know, I'd have to look, but I believe so. I believe it is. Oh, you know what? I think it's Australian. I do think it's Australian. I can't, well, maybe I can look. I don't know. Let me see. I got this thing on. Is this thing on? I don't know what happened. I got my other phone with me. It's all broken up here. I just turned it on now. I'm gonna look. I thought that they said it was Australian, but I'll see in a second. Okay, here it comes. It's not telling me. I could have sworn it said made by Australians. Oh yeah. Sleek home of Melbourne-style coffee culture, Kaizen has relocated just up the road from its former. There's two locations. There's this place on Akamai, and there's also Sukhumvit 49. You know, I guess I would come here if you're not worried. If you're not worried about price. Kind of like Sarni's. Sarni's is not an everyday coffee place. It's the kind of place that you go once in a great while. Maybe you go with a friend and you really want to sit down and enjoy yourself and have a good time and pay a little bit too much. That's what I would say. So, you know, I have to be careful what I say, but I would say that the quality of this place is good, but the price, it's pricey. Yeah, you're not going to get people wanting to come in here. Hey, do you know about Kaizen? We got to go there. People need to know about this place and really like it to be able to want to drive over here and come in here and sit here, because it's, well, I guess there's some, yeah, they're parked out. Oh no, that's the parking, that's the reflection. There's nobody parked out on the street. So if you want to come here, you have to come into the parking lot and park. Big coffee scene there, huh? You know, I think about it. Remember when coffee used to be a nickel? Or maybe you remember it used to be 20 cents, 25 cents. Dirty coffee is, I think it's 140 baht here. That's around the normal price. A dirty coffee at Pakamara is 125 baht, which is you know, a good deal. You get unlimited refills. Can't beat that. Now, here comes a couple more people. It looks like a family. But, oh, the Japanese come here. That's what it is. The girls over here are Japanese. These guys are. These people are. Mr. Billy will be showing up here, hopefully, shortly. I don't know. He said he was. So, I don't know what the deal is with him, but he should be over here fairly soon. I mean, this is just bread with tomato and mozzarella on it. And it's quite good. It's 150 baht. To me, that's a deal. That's a value. I got the egg added. That's another 85 baht. 235 baht, which is what? That's about $6. Which is, I would say, you know, it's Bangkok, but Bangkok is no longer cheap. I've said that for a long time. That's what we can talk about here. The prices in Thailand and the prices in Bangkok. The prices in Bangkok have been going up steadily. And Bangkok is not cheap anymore. It's just not. I don't care what anybody says. You go to the coffee shops, you'll see that. It's not cheap. I mean, you go to a place like Cafe Amazon. Yeah, okay, coffee's pretty cheap, but the coffee itself is not that good. It's average at best. Now, what I'd say is, all the girls here have taken good care of me. You know, they give good service here. The only thing that I'm talking about is I don't like the menu where you got to scan the menu. I never like that. What I would like is they have a menu and they say, we have a menu here. However, if you like, you can just look at it on your phone. You have both. You should have that choice. To me, that's a good idea. So, yeah, they have avocado, they have French toast, it's 275 baht. Grilled cheese. Grilled cheese is 130 baht. French toast with maple, 295 baht. The breakfast special from 7:30 to 10:30 is 420 baht. 420 baht. That's a bit pricey. Now, one other piece of news. As I said the other day, the SkyTrain, one of the wheels fell off of the SkyTrain, hit a taxi. Nobody was hurt. They've been inspecting, I think there's something like 30 cars or something like that, 30 trains. And they've been inspecting it. Supposedly by tomorrow they will be finished and everything will be back to normal. So that's good. You know, my wife didn't even know about it, but she doesn't. She almost never takes the SkyTrain. I really don't get the avocado on toast thing. Not a fan. I get it. It tastes good. But avocados are expensive here. One of the doors fell off an airline. I wonder how that happened. I mean, what happens if the door comes off and people are standing up walking around? You know, did that happen? Somebody get sucked out of a door? That's crazy. I do see people coming in here, so this is a pretty popular place. Well, so then what happened? Why are these things happening? Because this is fairly new. The SkyTrain's fairly new. To me, it's poor quality control. People, they may just think, oh, well, you know, this is good enough. And that's it. They're like, oh, well. Hey, do me a favor, leave me a thumbs up. Hit that, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe, notification bell, blah, 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 blah. Look down in the description. Everything's down there. Oh, and if you need some help with something, I'm your guy. I've been here for almost half my life now. just email me at anamericaninbangkok@gmail.com, and I will do my best to assist you. Pretty good. So the food is a better value than the coffee. I don't understand it. How can you charge 135 baht for an espresso, even if it's a double espresso? It's very neutral, which means it's like a medium roast. I just don't understand it, how you can charge that much. Problems with that model. Well, I mean, you know, you're releasing a plane that goes up in the air with people in it, and there's a problem with it. That's a problem in itself. I would say the food, this particular meal is as good as Sarni's, yes. And I think for 150 baht, if you don't get the egg, 235 baht with the egg, I think it's a good deal, better deal than you get at Sarni's. I mean, I'm looking at the other. I wanted to sit looking this way, but the sun is coming in, so it's too much sun. But I'm looking over here, and it looks like they have sausage, bacon, egg. It looks like a pork chop, and some greens of some kind. I don't know. That's what you get with the morning special. But I noticed that they have a morning special that's for us regular folk, and then there's a morning special for vegetarians. So if you're a vegetarian and you want to come here and have something, they have something for you. And you know, it's that all-inclusive thing. I mean, whatever. Doesn't hurt to have that. They have the, I don't understand the fascination with matcha. They have the matcha, and it's iced matcha. They have the matcha latte, they have the matcha frappuccino, they have the iced matcha, and I just don't get it. This is the last bite of my meal. Which I believe is keto. Talk about not cheap. Try getting a decent hotel in Delhi. Well, I'll be honest. Again, India, I know that some people are so thrilled by India. And, oh, I'd love to go there. Maybe I'm missing the boat. Maybe I'm missing out. I don't know. But I just don't get the fascination with India. It's crowded. It can be very expensive. And depending on where you go, I mean, every meal you got to be careful. Every drink you got to be careful. And you got people hounding you all the time. Now, maybe people say that about Thailand. But I don't think so. I mean, if you do a little research, you'll find out that at least in Bangkok, maybe in Phuket, even, I hate to say it, even in Pattaya and Chiang Mai, these are places that they're not third world. They're very first world. And as I said earlier, I've said many times now, I think Thailand is actually surpassing the United States in some ways. that was good. Empty plate. That was quite good. I will say that. I'll give them credit for the food. So, I'll tell you what the scores are. For taste, I gave them a 4. Out of the scale is on 1 to 5. Value, 2. Maybe I should make that a 3 because the food was a good value. Service 4, food 4, allure. What brings people in? What's the draw here? 3. Variety, 4, because they do have a good variety on their menu. Vibe, I put 3. I don't like this. I really don't like the vibe that a place sets when they have the music too loud. And I'm saying this not as somebody who doesn't want to hear music. I don't mind the music if it's a background, if it sets the tone for the background. If you're sitting there and you hear the little, oh, I like that song. Yeah, that's good. But when you have it so loud to where you're trying to talk to somebody, you can't talk to them. It's ridiculous. So that's why I don't think that the vibe is all that. Location, I got location as a 3. Now it's a good location in Bangkok. There's 2 locations, but this particular location on the side of Ekam, really it's fairly close to the highway. So maybe that makes it a better, maybe I gotta rethink that. Maybe it'll be a 4, I don't know. I have to sit down and look at this when I go home. So that gives me a score of what here? 10, 27. 27 divided by 8, which is 3 point, I think it's 3.3 something. 60. 3.38. I can tell you that puts it in the middle of the pack. Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but oh, look at that. Look what she's bringing. I think like if it comes down to, can I go to India, stop off in India for 2 days, or can I go somewhere else? I'd go somewhere else. And I used to kind of want to go to India, and I just don't now. I don't want any hassles anywhere I go. I want it to be very easy. And even Thailand can get on my nerves sometimes. It's like I went to go buy a shirt yesterday, and I'm in the store. It's a big store. They got one register open. Alright, na? Alright, mom. They had one register open. They normally have like 4 registers. The one counter was closed. The other counter was open, but there was only one person there. Now there's a lady there, she's got like 10 things for her kid. And they all gotta have discounts, and the guy's calculating them on his calculator, which I don't know why he's doing that, but he's calculating things, he's telling her. So I'm standing there, then I look over, there's another lady, she was in line ahead of me. So I'm like, okay, she can go ahead of me, no problem. I'm waiting there like 15 minutes. And the guy's just, and I'm thinking to myself, oh God, So then another person came up and opened the other counter up. And I'm just thinking to myself, you got a huge store here. It's very big. I mean, it's not like your normal little shop house or little shop in a mall. It's like, I mean, it's, H&M, Uniqlo, it's a big store. Muji, it's very big. It takes a lot of space up. And they got one register open. And I'm just thinking, usually it's overkill. It's just overkill. So they have too many people working. And Why? You know, they want to look good. Oh, we got 10 people here at the register. You go to a certain coffee shops, they got 10 people working behind the counter. And really, they only need like 2 or 3. That's at Cafe Amazon all the time. And Cafe Amazon does get busy, I will say that. So that's, you know. And then yesterday, I'm like, they probably have 5 employees in the whole place. And 3 of them are in the back. They're in the back room. I don't know what they're doing. You know. So I was, you know, and that was right after me going to the coffee shop yesterday. I'm like, I'm in this coffee shop. I can't get a good cup of coffee. You know, they're just pushing a button, and then out of the machine pops a coffee. Which I'm like, well, this isn't any good. If I wanted this, I'd go to the Taubin and I'd get a better cup of coffee. I'd get a better cappuccino for the same price at Taubin. So I don't know what their problem is. I don't know why they think the way they. I have no idea. All I know is when I go into a place, I expect decent service and a decent product. You know, it's very simple. I don't expect the world. I don't expect them to bend over and kiss my ass. And now what happens is sometimes they try to, a lot of them will try to speak English to me. I go, putai garai ka. You just speak Thai. You're better off speaking Thai than your English. Because I'll understand your Thai, but I might not understand your English, you know. And I mean, that's I understand that some of them, they want to better themselves and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes if they're really trying to speak English, I'll try to talk to them. But sometimes they're like, can you, this one, no. Yesterday I was going to try a shirt on, and it was this one particular shirt. It's all folded up, and it's got like a little thing around it, a little plastic collar or whatever. And she goes, oh, she's trying to tell me, no, you can't take this into the room and try it on. And I was like, well, then how do I know that it fits? Because I'm right on the cusp. You know, I wear a US XL. I'm almost to a size large. So I'm like, I want to see if this thing fits. So they went and got like a sample or whatever, and they let me try it on. But she's trying to speak English to me. She can't speak. I'm like, what are you trying to? I'm speaking to her in Thai. Oh, well, wait 1 minute. So then some guy comes in and he's like, oh, can you get some help? You need what? You try to. And I'm like, oh, just speak Thai. So he did. And then it was like very easy. Okay, boom. No problem. Let me try it on. Just give me whatever you got. I don't care. They're all the same size. You know, the samples are the same size as the regular shirts or whatever. So that happens in Thailand and everywhere else. Sometimes you're going to get great service. Sometimes you're not. And here comes the girl with her arms full. Let me show you here. She's got her arms full of food. Very carefully walking. Oh wow, she's got ice cream on a waffle. Oh, that looks good. Maybe 2/4 Korean can have that when he gets here. If he does, I don't know. So anyway, why is that weirdo Twitchy streaming you right now? I don't know. I don't give a shit about him. What the hell do I care about him for? What has he ever done? He's not important to me. I'll be there in 4 weeks or so if I can stand the chaos. Just doing the main cities. Yeah, where is Dowlow? What's happening with Dowlow? He hasn't been in the last couple of streams. I don't know what's going on. Carnivore Chronicles told me that he falls asleep before the stream goes off. Chucky's doing well. He was here for a week or so. I don't know. He told me he was going to be here for a couple of months, and then he said, oh, I've got an emergency. I've got to go back home. But I did see him. I think, wasn't Billy with me when we saw him? I don't remember. Where did I go see him? Oh, no, he took I did see him. He took the yellow line from his he had a little apartment near the Lotpro station. He took the yellow line to the Mall Bangkok, and Mr. Billy and I met him, and we hung out for 4 hours or something like that. And then he went back, and then he went to Pattaya 2 days later. He said, "Oh, I'm going to Pattaya. It's my first time." And so he went to Pattaya for 4 days, and then on the 5th day he left and went back to the U.S. and I haven't heard from him. So I'm sure he's fine. He was doing good when I saw him, and telling me about all his escapades. I wouldn't mind having another coffee. I mean, this is my second one. But at 135 baht a pop, I just don't feel like springing for it. It's, I mean, I could, but anyway. So that's what's going on. That's what's happening here in Bangkok. What else is going on? Let me think. Oh, well, today, I don't know if she's going to or not. I don't know if Alex is going to. Mocha frappe. I don't know. I don't have it. They didn't give me a menu. I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's pricey. Gennaro, if you're watching, maybe you could look up the price of a mocha frappe. If you're still here. Yeah. Or maybe I can look. Well, I have to turn my phone on again. I have 2 phones, but the problem is that I want to use Line on both phones, and I can't do that. So I'll turn this one on, and I'll go and I'll scan their menu, and I'll look for you. Which is nice that I can do that. What's going on? There we go. Thank you, Mr. Andy. Thank you very much. It's about what it cost me, about 10 bucks. So thank you very much. All right, let me see here. Appreciate that. 180 baht. Wow. My page is still loading. Okay, here we are. That's cold. I assume you're correct. 180 baht, which is what? $5.35 or something like that. When you think about it, it's not all that much. But if you think about going to a coffee shop every single day and paying for that, that's a little different. It adds up a bit. Now, for me, I'm sitting here drinking an espresso. I've had 2 espressos already. That's almost 10. It's like $8. Prices are in line with what they are in. Cold is 165. Okay, it's still a little bit. I don't know why it's loading very slowly. Probably because I don't have a plan on here. I just have some money on here, and that's it. But yeah, it's good to know. Yeah, I mean, you want to go, and this is the thing. I kind of like going to coffee shops. I mean, you go, you hang out, you go see some friends, you meet some people, you shoot the breeze with them, and you kill 2 hours, 3 hours. It's nice, right? Okay, yeah, now I can see it here. Cold. Iced mocha, 165. That doesn't say it's a frappe, but it's cold. So you might have to ask him about See, I don't know why they made the espresso so expensive. I mean, a smoothie, a tropical smoothie is 165 baht. A protein smoothie is 220, which is, you know, it's not cheap, but okay, it's not that expensive either. I got the whole menu here. Let me look at this. You want a regular tea, just a regular old tea, it's 120 baht. A blonde mocha, pacemaker and special chocolate, 180 baht. They have add-ons, oat milk, almond milk, soy milk, decaf. Those are all about 30 baht extra. Yeah, everything is 135 baht. A cappuccino, 135 baht. Espresso, 135 baht. Long black, 135 baht. Flat white, 135 baht. Latte, 135 baht. Piccolo, 135 baht. Macchiato, 135 baht. I don't know why they price things the way they do. I don't know. I would like to speak to, if there was an owner here, which I don't think there is. Lots going to that M-Sphere. Maybe. However, I can tell you I know two people who go to M-Sphere and they're just like, they don't like the place. It's like every other mall. I mean, you have so many malls right in that area. You have Terminal 21. You have M-Sphere. You have M-Quartier. You have Emporium. All in that little neighborhood. What do you need so many malls for? The reason is because the world is a commercial place. And they're trying to get rid of as much stuff as they can. You know, soon there will be malls to the border. There might be. Good morning, Mr. Tom. Oh, you're in Jomtien. You know, my wife said to me yesterday, oh, maybe we should buy a place in Pattaya, not Chiang Mai. And I go, I'm not living in Pattaya. I go, I don't know what you're thinking. She goes, no, it's outside of, it's in Chonburi. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Let me see the place. She goes, it's only like 2.5 million baht. And I'm like, okay, well, I like the price. So I don't know. But what I was going to say is, today she may be going to visit Mr. Nicky, unannounced, and she's going to take Alex with her. And the reason is, first, she wants to see, he's got school starting tomorrow. Is he, what's he doing? Because he's working at a different place now, and he works from like 10 o'clock at night to 6 in the morning. And she wants to see, is he like, when she goes to visit him, does he have a chick? Is he shacked up with a chick there? Pattaya Bob, good of you to join us. And Mr. Tom is in Jomtien, Pattaya Bob. I better get this off of here because I don't want to get charged for it. Let's see here. How do you do this? Done. Oh. How come I can't get to... Well, I guess I'll just close it then. What's going on here? Okay, there we go. So you have Mr. Tom and Mr. Bob, Pattaya Bob, all in the same neighborhood. There's a lot of people in Pattaya. I think Mr. Mitch was over there. You know, one thing that I wanted to do, and I haven't been working on my website lately, and I want to start really working on it, but I'm doing, you know, like I said, I'm doing the coffee thing. I'm trying to think of how can I do it on my website I have now, because there's some things I'd like to do with my website. I was doing it before, and the software just doesn't really work that well. I don't know why. And the guy, he stopped selling. he stopped selling his software. And I'm like, okay, you stopped selling software, but I still need service on it. There's a couple things wrong with it. I need to know what's going on. So I had to figure everything out, and he helped me a little bit, and I figured things out myself. And now there's a couple things that aren't working again, and I'm like, I've had it with this software. So I got a bunch of things I'm working on, but one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to have some kind of an area where if somebody was going to, say, Bangkok on Friday, or Jomtien on like Tuesday the 28th, they could go in and put in they're going to be there on that day. And I guess you could do that with Google, the calendar or whatever, but and then anybody who wanted to like meet up with people, they could say, oh, so-and-so is there, I didn't know that, okay, we'll meet up. Or you can go, I don't want to go to that place because so-and-so is there, whatever. So I wanted to do that, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I got my hands full, and I get a little frazzled when I get overwhelmed. So I just try to take my time. And that was the thing, when you're retired, or you're semi-retired, whatever it might be, you got to keep yourself busy. I'm sure Tom knows that. I think he does it with travel. Patia Bob does it with his condo work, and most people try to keep busy doing something. If you're not doing something, then you're just spinning your wheels, you're wasting your time. It's like, oh, now I don't have to go to work anymore, I'll just collect the money and sit on my sofa and watch TV all the time. That's not a good use of your time, in my opinion. Let me read this here. Bangkok on Friday, good for you. On Friday? I thought you already left. Maybe that was somebody else. I don't know. Your wife's got the right idea. Real estate is easy to negotiate down here. Now, nothing is selling. It's got to be a place that we could, I don't know if we could rent it out, or we could use, the thing is that the only people who are going to be there besides Alex and Nicholas, who probably wouldn't go there, are myself and my wife. Oh, it's the first time there, huh? Sounds like you want a meetups type of web app for your site. Yeah, I would. But it has to be able to be used on the website, and I don't want it to be, that's what the website is. That's not just what the website is. So there are a lot of things you need to factor in, and the website, the one that I have, is like a drop and drag website. Sometimes you can't use certain things. You got to pay for them, and it's not worth it because they're shit. It's not at the top of my list. It's not on my list of priorities right now. It's on the list. Jim, how you doing? Long time no see. Been a couple of days. Been a minute. If you go to Pattaya, like to be a tourist, you can go there and you can have a good time. Like I said, I don't know that I'd want to live in the heart of Pattaya. I don't think I'd want to live there. Just not my preference. But to go there for, a week, 2 weeks, whatever, and to be a tourist and to have some fun, all right, you want to go to Koh Lan or somewhere like that, okay, fine. But now there are starting to be a lot of Chinese and a lot of Russians and Indians, and so some people, and it's going to get crowded. It's going to get more crowded this year. So, you might be there at the right time right now. I don't know. It might be good. And I was thinking, there's places in Phuket that I don't usually go, and they're a lot better. There was a place I went and stayed at with my wife, and she knows the owner of the hotel. And it's a bit far from city center, And the thing is, it was really windy, and the waves were high, and it was windy, and it was rainy, so it wasn't all that great when we were there. But I thought to myself, maybe this place out here, out a little ways away, might be good. But I never know. I change my mind every other minute. What is this here? Spent New Year's Eve at a place called Mo In Cow in a national park. Up the mountain, great chill time. Yeah, that's the national parks are known for that. Good chill time. We went to Cow Soak. We went to, what was it, Cowlock or something? Not Cowlock. I forget the name of the place. You met a lovely lady from there. This was online, Gennaro. Plane was another 737 MAX 9. The window was part of the fuselage, blew out. There was no one sitting in the window seat. The seat was damaged, so it is a good thing. The plane was at 16,000 feet, which is high, but not that high. Jump in as many laid-back areas for you. If you see a 3 million up, you can probably lowball it to 2 point something million and negotiate it fairly. Well, we'll find out. I don't know. I'm leaving it to my wife. I don't. You met her locally. Oh, well, that's good. I still think it's better to meet the girl in person than it is to meet them on an app. Even though my wife says some of her friends are, and she does have a 50-year-old woman that's a friend of hers, we'll say, that needs a man. I get these requests all the time. I'm like, honey, I don't want to get involved with this. The automatic sentence that comes out of my mouth is, I don't get involved in affairs of the heart. See, Tom's got it good. Tom has it good because he's traveling with his Thai wife. So he gets to go all over the place. He experiences Thailand. He's bringing his own girl, which is great. I think that's great when you do that. It gives you a different feel for the places where you go. What about Rayong area? A friend of mine lives there. Yeah, it's nice there. I know it's nice there. But I look at it like, okay, is my wife gonna want to live there and still work? Am I gonna want to live there? I mean, I have the freedom here to go wherever I want, do whatever I want. It's very easy. So that's what factors in. And if she got the right place, she was still telling me, oh, we should go to Chiang Mai and check out that place. I go, have you called the guy yet? No, it's been 2 months she hasn't called the guy. I'm like, if you call him up and set something up, then we're bound to go there. Yeah, I know, but she's involved in the decision-making process also. I'm the one with the final say, and I don't know where Mr. Billy is. Let me see here. Let's see here. Maybe, I don't know if he's got... Yo, where are you? He's probably sitting in his underwear watching right now, going, I'm not going over there for that pricey coffee. Uh-oh, I'm running out of time. That was quick. Scott, if you buy Thai name condo instead of a foreign quota, you can get an additional 500, 700,000 from the Farang price. Well, that's good to know. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm buying this, I want it to be in my name. I don't want to do that. Why would I do that? It's just like, hey, Jim, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Choke knee to you. That mozzarella is on me. Well, that's what it was actually pretty cheap. It was cheaper than that, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. You guys are really good. Andy, Jim, thank you very much. Thank you to everybody who helps out. Now, what was I going to say? No, not that. Oh, I was talking to Alex the other day. I go, Alex, what you really need to do, you need to start applying to companies that want people who are Thai and American. You are an American. Start applying at companies that want Americans, that need Americans in this region. You live here, they will pay you in US dollars. You will make more than what you're going to make as a Thai. So he applied at the embassy, he's applying at all kinds of places. You know, he can work on an oil rig, he can do all kinds of things, but you know, we'll see what happens with him. He's you know, he's been working hard, and he still is working part-time, so you know, I just leave it to him. I'm his father, but at this point he's a young man, and I'm here to listen and hopefully guide him in the right direction. That's about it. I'm not going to say you must do this, you must do that. By the way, I saw a series on Netflix that I loved it. It's called The Brother's Son. I don't know how many of you have Netflix and how many of you saw this, but it was only 8 episodes, 1 year. Hopefully they'll bring it back for, you know, a second season. But a great show. Events on beach get packed like 300,000 were here. Yeah, see, I don't, you know, I understand that's a nice thing. I don't want to be around 300,000 people. I just don't. I want to be around like 3 people. That's it. Yeah, that was an awesome show. I really liked it. I really enjoyed that. I couldn't stop watching it. I had to tell Alex, listen, we'll watch some tomorrow. And then it was like the 8th episode. I thought there was 10 episodes. And I go, all right, well, we're going to save this for tomorrow. And then I go, oh, this is the last episode. All right, we'll watch it. So we watched it. And I'll watch that again. Yeah, I personally don't want to be anywhere near that many people. No, I think it's 15 days, something like 15 days after the shot, which I think is, when did he go? On the 28th? Yeah, it should be coming in the next week. So that's good. I mean, we got shots. We got plenty of shots. We got a couple hundred photos of them. And some of them that were taken by my wife are like, you know, he's standing like this, and then he's standing like this. So, you know, many, many photos with just a slightly different look to him. I have photos of him and of the family on my phone as the wallpaper. I saw the video of Pattaya New Year's Eve. I much prefer where I was, just as the Strip wasn't a desirable place to be, in my opinion. Yeah, you know, different strokes for different folks. If you're young and you feel like partying and, you know, that's what you do, then maybe that's what you want. For me, it's definitely not what I want. You know, and I think 2/4 Korean, he knows how I am. And maybe it'll be like, okay, have like 2 guys come over to the house. And, you know, we'll have a meal, we'll watch TV, we'll drink a little. Okay, that's great. But when I start having like, I'm going to go out and there's going to be like a couple hundred people in a place, it's too much for me. Nowadays, I just want peace. Jim, agree for some, but most weekdays, no issue. Like today, no events and very little traffic. Well, that's good to know. Jomtien, let me tell you something, Tom. Jomtien is far less crazy than Pattaya. However, it is starting to become a little more like the city simply because that's what's happening. People are migrating and they're starting to go, oh, Jomtien is the place to be. So it's still a very good place to be, and I've been there, you know, many times, and I like it there. I like it better than Pattaya. But I would say that it is slowly starting to morph, and I think both of those places, Pattaya and Jomtien, will be very, very busy in, say, the next 5 years. I mean, Jomtien especially. I would check it, should be checking it out this year. Other places, Pratumnak, Wang Amai, and other neighborhoods. After a while, you just kind of learn. You know, you learn the places to go. Yeah, well, who knows when that'll be? It could be in a day. It could be in, 5 years. I don't know. This poor girl, she's upstairs. All she does is take care of people up here. She's standing around here twiddling her thumbs. And then once in a while she has to help people. You know. I forget where I was. I was somewhere the other day, and I'm thinking to myself, you got all these people here. It might have been a coffee shop, but you got all these people, and they were sitting there just looking at their phone. There's like 4 or 5 of them, that's what it was. And they were sitting there looking at their phone. That's all they were doing. They weren't worried about customers. They weren't looking around. They weren't waiting for customers. They were looking at their phone. And this is something, my wife is, oh my God, it's gotten to the point now where I'm like, get off the phone. Yeah, but just 1 minute. No, now, get off the goddamn phone. She's on the phone all the time. She's always looking at YouTube or Facebook she's like, well, it keeps me busy. I'm like, you'll be busy if you don't have your phone. It is a comfortable place, Jannar, but I would say in a couple of years, it's going to start looking a lot more like Pattaya. So you got to be careful where you pick if you're going to live there long term. I think, the farther out, the better. But it is still a nice place. I mean, I'd rather be there than Pattaya. And I'm pretty sure we were staying in Jomtien. And, I got to go back to this comment that this guy said. He said, oh, you'll sound like, that you think that every place you go, there's the bar girls and you're dealing with all this. I go, no, I don't have to deal with that. I understand that. But at some point, you have to go out and you have to go through the city. You're going to go around places where all these kind of activities are taking place and where all the tourists are. I personally don't want to be around the tourists all the time, Have fun. Honestly, not my kind of thing, man. Body Slam is really good. I like Body Slam. And all the other ones, I don't need them. I don't care about them. From what I've seen in Jomtien, oh yeah, it's comfortable. It's just me. I just don't like being around all those kind of, all the people that are around those kind of places. And I've done all that before. I've hung out and I've been in pubs, I've been in bars, I've been in, Thai places. I just don't want to do it anymore. I've been to Koh Chang. I've been many times there. I've been to the Koh Chang to the east. I've been to the Koh Chang in the south, which most people don't even know about. But there is another Koh Chang. Koh Chang, Koh Payam. And the Koh Chang in the south is very reasonably priced. At least it was when I went about 6-7 years ago. But the one to the east, I like it It's not my favorite place, though. I mean, I do like it. It's a good place. And I would say if you haven't been there, or even if you have, like, you've been there once, go again. Have a good time there. But I've been there probably now 7, 8 times, maybe 10 times. And, you know, I've been to Summit now. I went to Summit recently. Samui, I like Samui, but, you know, you got to know going in that Samui, you are always an outsider there. I mean, more so than other places. And that the, how should we say, the organized factions in the area, you need to be careful of them. You know, the mafia, the little island mafia. And you're on an island, you know. And the last time I went there, it was a number of years ago, but I went there and we had the boxing ring on the sand. It was right by the ocean. We had, you know, hundreds of people standing there watching, and it was a really good time. And we went out afterwards, we partied, we did all kinds of stuff. It's a nice place, I really like it. I don't know that I would live there, simply because, first of all, it's an island. And if it's going to be an island, you need to make sure it's, you know, island life is not for everybody. Doing Vietnam in February, Qua Chang, okay. Retirement friendly. I would say probably, but you bet, you know, if you have enough money, yeah, it's retirement friendly. But I wouldn't go there and go, oh, I'm going to live off of $1,000. I wouldn't do that. You know. And you need to have the right frame of mind when you go there. You don't want to go there and, you know, I was thinking about this, how foolish it was. When I first came here, it was like, you know, they refused to drop the price. You know, it's like, you're like, oh, well, it's only 80 baht. No, it's 100 baht. And you're like, no. And then it's like, you know, you're almost getting into a fight over it. I think about that and I think it's just so stupid. Because first of all, you're going to get into a fight for 20 baht. That's kind of stupid. Second of all, what happens if you do get into a fight and you hit the guy, he falls, he bangs his head, he's dead? What happens if he hits you, boom, you bang your head, you're dead? Then what happens if you gotta, you know, I did get into a fight in, what was it, Therme. Many years ago, it had to be 20 years ago. 20, maybe 25, I don't know. And what a hassle it was. It was the biggest hassle, man. You know, the guy was drunk. He was in my face. It was just I had to go to court. I had bail. You know, I had to give him 30,000 baht for bail. And then I had to go every month and sign and say I was still in Thailand. I wasn't leaving. That way I wouldn't lose my bail money. It was just a hassle. All I had to do really was turn around and walk away. But my pride was, you know, I was like, oh, he's not going to do this. This guy's done this to me before. I'm not going to let him. What is he doing? You know. And so in Samui, I would say if you get into any kind of confrontational situations, your confrontation resolution needs to be on I would say it needs to be, you need to have the right frame of mind. You're not ready to fight because, you know, the guy's ripping you off for 20 baht, or, you know, he's saying you can't do this or you can't do that. You need to just figure out, how can I do this and get out of this as easy as possible without getting into a confrontation. Because that's the one thing here, is if you get aggressive, things get very ugly very quickly, and then you're going to be talking to the police, and yeah, it's not worth it, you know. So you got to remember that. That's the end of that coffee. It took a long time to drink. I had an acquaintance from work that was punched out in a bar. He hit his head on the pavement and died. Yeah, well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Because, you know, like I might think, oh, I'm going to go and I'm going to crack this guy. Maybe the guy's a little younger. Maybe he's a little faster. Maybe he's aggressive and he throws the first punch and hits me and I'm out. Boom. I bang my head. That's it. I'm dead. That could happen. And so I think when you get a little, usually it's people who are older, they tend to be less apt to get into confrontations. And I thought to myself, yeah, I'm doing yoga, I lift weights once in a while. Oh God, Billy's hungover on the verge of puking. Ugh. You know, I gotta have a talk with him. You know, the whole thing of going out and getting drunk and that's all you want to do, or going out, and he doesn't do that. But when do you stop doing that? Where, oh, I'm going to go out and get hammered. I'm just going to go out because I want something to do. Which he's still in the tourist frame of mind. He's got that frame of mind that I'm still a tourist and I'm going to go out and get hammered. What he needs to do is move away from this area to where it's not that easy for him to go out, and then he has other things to do. You know, take up bowling, take up golf. You know, do something else, but don't go out and get hammered all the time. Again, not that he's doing that, but he just wrote me and said, oh, I'm hungover, I'm on the verge of puking. I don't know what to say. I'm disappointed in you, 2 quarters Korean. I would have expected you to drink like a man, get drunk, be hungover, and you don't puke. So, and that's the thing. I know several people who they spend a lot of, spend a lot of time sitting in the bars. You want to be a pub regular, go once a week. Whatever, go once a week, and, you know, have 3-4 beers, get a nice little buzz on, and go home. But don't go out and get trashed. And I know several people, that's what they do. And, you know, it's all up to you. I've yet to see a bowling alley here. Well, there's not as many as there used to be, I can tell you that. There used to be one in the mall Bangkok. There's not anymore. So I'd have to look to see where there is one, but I know there's one in the area. But where you are, of course, is probably not going to be that many, if any. Martial arts will teach self-control. Well, you know, I just go back to saying there's something that you're doing. Is it a positive influence or is it a negative influence? If you want to go out and have a couple of drinks and relax and hang out with your friends and socialize, okay, I understand that. So you go out, you have a couple of drinks, and you socialize. But you don't let anybody push you. You don't get influenced easily to where you're like, I'm going to get trashed tonight, man. I mean, that's something a 25, 30-year-old kid would do, younger guy would do. You know, listen, my kids will drink occasionally. Alex will just have a glass of wine, that's it. He might have a beer. When he went to Tokyo, he had like a beer, 2 beers, and that was it. Nicholas, on the other hand, will drink, and he's kind of mellowed out. You know, we let him drink. We just like, okay, you want to drink? Go ahead. But, you know, you're drinking here with us. And one time he went out when he graduated high school, and he got hammered, and he came home, and he was drunk. He was smashed, throwing up. And we were like, hey, you better learn from it. So I think he did. Small fraction of Farang up here who are into the bar scene. I feel sorry for them, only seeing the interior of the same bar day after day. Well, look at it this way, and I was reminded of this by Carnivore Chronicles. Some of these guys, if they were back in the US, they'd probably be dead. they probably would not be experiencing half of what they experience here, even being in the bar. And there's nothing wrong with going to a bar. To me, there's nothing wrong. Now, going every single day, unless you own the bar, to me, that's just, I don't know. I think you can make better use of your time. I don't know how else to say it. And the whole thing, it's like smoking weed. It's, I think everybody should have the right to smoke. I think whether it's medical or recreational, I don't think there's a problem with it. I don't want to do it anymore. I've already done it. I did it back in the day when, I used to carry around ounces on me all the time, bags full of joints and all kinds of stuff. I just don't want to do that anymore. I don't know why. So I can't explain that. But I think if people want to, I think they should be able to do it. Now, I do think there comes a point when you go, hey, I'm going in the bar every single day and drinking like 3 beers. Do you really need to do that? Is it a positive influence on your life? I would say no, it's not. One of the most common visits to emergency room are because people escalated an altercation to physical violence. Yes, I agree with that. And I think about all the times that I got involved in situations. I remember when I was like 17, 18 years old, I got into a fight. I was drunk. And there were 2 guys in the bathroom, and they were saying something. I said, screw you, or whatever. I got into a fight with both of them. Now, I didn't get beat up. I didn't beat them up. They didn't beat me up. We were kind of lucky that nothing ever happened out of it. And I think, what a stupid thing to do. I could have easily just taken my piss and walked away. That's happened numerous times. I think that's something that younger people need to really remember. Just because you think you're tough, or just because you think that, you have to prove yourself. You don't have to prove yourself. Most of the time, it doesn't matter what somebody else says, what somebody else does. Some guy steals your girl. Oh, well, she's not your girl. That's all. You find another one. Move on. Some guy talks smack about you. Oh, well, big deal. It's better than sitting in jail. So here I am. When I first started this channel, maybe I was a little more apt to scrapping. I don't want to scrap. I don't think if you're smart, you shouldn't. I really appreciate, listen, Chuck has told me, he said, I've never thrown a punch in my life. He hasn't had to. He never has. He's never in a position where he wants to get into a fight. And I appreciate that. I admire him for that, actually. I think it's a good thing. So, anyway, getting back to Mr. Billy, like I said, laid up in his underwear, probably spinning right now. He's probably spinning, thinking, oh, I wish I wasn't this drunk. I shouldn't have drank some. He told me yesterday, oh, I'm not going to go out tonight because I don't want to get too drunk. I'm like, see, when you start to think like that, to me, it's like, that's not the good way to think. Why do you have to think, if I go out, am I going to get drunk or am I not going to get drunk? I don't understand it. Everybody, every man, a lot of men, they like to have a beer now and then. I understand that. Sometimes you drink a little too much and you get smashed. You just don't want to make a habit of it. That's all. I don't want to beat the dead horse. Well, you know, that's the thing. What happened to people? What happened without the internet, without phones? What happened to hobbies that people do where they don't need these things? I mean, even with the internet, if you want, you can make a habit of being in a forum that's a positive, upbeat forum where you learn things, you socialize, you exchange information. There are forums out there like that. I'm not talking about Twitter. I'm not talking about stuff like that. But, you know, what happened to people like making model trains, or, you know, making rockets or things like that? People have, it seems to me, people have forgotten about this kind of thing. Yeah, sometimes you can end up in more, in jail for longer than that. Yeah, you know, Gennaro, I don't know if anybody really knows this, but when I lived in the United States, all I ever drove was motorcycles. The last car I had was a Chevy Nova. The thing took a dump. I never fixed it. I sold it. I think after that I had a Honda Accord, and I got rid of that thing because it was starting to fall apart. I had it. I had it for something like 5-6 years, and after that I had all I had was motorcycles. I had a Suzuki GS 850. I had a Honda 650. I had, Yamaha 650. I've had many motorcycles. And the thing that I would like to do now, one thing that, and I've thought about this, and you know, there are certain things that I want to do, just like I was talking about the other day, resolutions. And one of the things I'd like to do, and maybe I'll do this when I get some retirement money coming in, is I'll buy an old motorcycle, and I'll fix it up slowly. I'll take my time on it. I'll sand the body down. I'll get it painted. I'll, you know, put it all back together. I'm talking about things like Nortons, Triumphs. I'm talking about motorcycles like that. I'd like to do that, you know, but it takes money, it takes time, it takes patience. And now I kind of have the patience, because even when I'm at home, I don't want to sit on TV and watch TV all the time. You know, I sit down sometimes at night with the family and we watch a couple of shows. But other than that, I don't really want to just sit there and do it. So then I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? Well, I go online. I still, you know, work with photos every once in a while. Made a coffee shop, moto, wood, painted a square tubing, flare press, a few espresso makers. It was really nice. Well, yeah, I could see that. That would be cool. I mean, you know, like, I like this coffee shop. I like the configuration of it. I like how it's upstairs, but I don't like the whole vibe because of the music. Now, if they were to slap in a nice motorcycle or a couple of motorcycles in here and do this and do that, you know, I have some debt that will be paid off this summer. After that, I will buy. Yeah, a VW van is nice. I like that. Where's Andy? Later, folks. Back to my hotels search. All right, Andy, you take it easy, huh? Thanks again. I like Triumphs. I like Nortons. I know there's something I'm missing. I'm trying to think of it. I mean, I like Royal Enfields, but they're a different category to me. You know, and I talked about it before. Oh, maybe I could get a Royal Enfield. Well, they're not that cheap anymore. You know, if you get yourself a van, whatever kind of van, VW van, whatever it is, you get yourself a van you can sleep in, then you can drive all over the country. And, I mean, here in Thailand, most of the time, you know, a hotel is cheap. So why wouldn't you just sleep in the hotel instead of sleeping in your van? Okay, once in a while I understand. But you could have a lot of fun doing that. what you could do is you could do it, use it for a little bit, and then sell it, and then make some money on it. Hopefully, that's the idea. You make a profit. Enfields are one of the cheapest bikes to buy. I know they are, but they're not as cheap as they used to be when you can get them for a song and a dance. I've been to the Royal Enfield place here in Thailand, 78 Suzuki GS 1000. Well, I used to have a GS 850, but that was in, I think that was in the late 80s. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like bikes, but the other thing is that they are dangerous. And I know, you know, if I was to have one, I know I'd hear it from the wife. We do know somebody who was killed on a motorcycle. This was a long time ago, and he got hit by a car. He flew off, and he was in the middle of the road, and he was still alive, and he started to get up, and then he got hit by a truck, and that was the end of him. He was only like 16, 17, 18, something like that. He was my wife's cousin. It was sad. So, CB350. I had a Honda CB Nighthawk. It was a 650. An older Kawasaki 4-cylinder would be cool. I think they recently reissued. Yeah. I think honestly, I would probably rather revamp a van than I would a motorcycle now when I think about it. Just because you can do so many things with a van. I mean, you know, you could extend the top, you could do all kinds of things to where you got plenty of room in the place, and, you know. Yeah, it was a cool bike at the time. I don't think I appreciated it as much as I should have. I really liked, I had a Honda, it was a shaft-driven 650. And man, that thing was so smooth. It was like I'd get on and I'd just rev it up and it would just go, and it purred. It was so smooth. It was so nice, that bike. I really liked that bike. That was one of my favorite bikes that I had. Yeah, I haven't ridden a bike in a long time. That was the bike in my high school days, $450. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing now. I see this place is full now. So it is a busy place. People do come here. They drive. They park their cars and they come in here. You know, price aside on the espresso, I would say everything else is price. I mean, you know, a cappuccino for 135 baht, it's not that bad. You know, a dirty for, what was it, 145? It's not that bad. That's a pretty decent price. I think it's just the espresso for 135 baht is a bit pricey. I would say quite a few foreigners here, foreigners and Thais here. The Thai men that I saw here, they seemed to have money. They didn't seem to be, you know, like some guy just stopping in for a quick coffee, if you know what I mean. I'm bringing 5 different types of coffee. Really, why is that? Why are you bringing coffee? I mean, you can get just about anything you want here. To save a couple of $100. Well, you're moving here, or you're just visiting. I don't remember. I can't remember. I can't keep everybody's. There's another guy on here that has a name that's close to yours. I rode a Kawasaki dirt bike on, oh God, farm somewhere near Pattaya a long time ago. Don't think I could find it again. Govella, Starbucks, two kinds of nice New Orleans coffee. I would pass on the Starbucks coffee. I mean, I know you can get some pretty good coffee from them, but honestly, I don't ever buy Starbucks coffee. I just don't do it. It's just not worth it to me. You know, I could go, if I went home again, oh man, she's bringing all these good meals here. Oh, you're just bringing it to gift people. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I could, like, if I go back home to Miami, especially if I go down into South America, I get Colombian coffee, I get Jamaican blue, I can get all kinds of good stuff. And now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out, you know, I'm trying to afford a grinder, which I can't afford it right now, because a good one's at least a couple $100. The New Orleans stuff is better. That's interesting. Bourbon praline. Wow. That sounds pretty good. I like the praline mixed with bourbon. That sounds pretty good. You know, there was a place, and I did stick it on my list. I did rate it. It's Summer Bowl. I actually bought a shirt from them just because I thought I'd wanted to have their shirt, and it's a little bit different shirt for me, but it's nice. And they have a white vanilla macadamia nut coffee, and oh man, it's so good. And I need to go back and buy that again. Visit New Orleans. Shrimp po' boys are good. Yeah. Well, you know, my father is into things that are bought in Louisiana and Georgia and northern Florida. He's always driving. Well, I don't think he is now, but you know, he used to drive all over the place, and he'd bring back all kinds of stuff. He would bring back gumbo. You know, I mean, I'm talking about he would just bring back all kinds of stuff. He'd get the crawfish. He'd have the crawfish shipped over to him in Florida. He's made all kinds of stuff, and yeah, I don't know. That area has some good food. What's that food that they make over there? What is the dish I'm thinking of? I can't remember what it's called. They have a particular type of soup or a dish, kind of like paella or something like that. They have a dish there. I don't remember what it's called. Oh, blackened anything is good. So yeah, I like the Louisiana food. What is it called? Jambalaya? Is that what I'm thinking of? I don't know. Good stuff though. And that's the thing I will say, you know, there's some really good food in Miami. Yeah, gumbo. Well, gumbo, yeah, and I think jambalaya is also something that's... But the gumbo is so good, man. Good morning, Mr. Carnivore. Yeah, I mean, I really like that food, but you know, all the food in the South, you know, nobody thinks of it here, but what the hell is it called? Cornbread. You get some cornbread, some honey cornbread, slap some butter on the inside, it melts, it's all nice and hot. Oh my God. You get some fish, you know, I don't care what kind of fish it is. You blacken it. We've had many Costa Rica sounds good, yeah. You know, Costa Rica's a place, I think it's a little bit overlooked now. Jalapeno with cream corn bread is tasty. Ooh, that sounds good. Yeah, I mean, you know, when I went home, we went to the seafood place. It was a seafood market. It's just one place, and they have seafood, and then it's separated. They have seafood, and then they have like chicken, like nothing but chicken. All kinds of chicken, stuffing, chicken, batter, all chicken. I mean, they have all kinds of stuff. But then they have the seafood, and you know, my mother used to make crab cakes from scratch. She would just get the crab cakes and put all the batter together and do everything. And my kid just loved it. And Nicholas just loved it. And Alex loved it too. And then I was like, okay, well, you got to turn them on to some dolphin. Mahi-mahi for you people who think it's flipper. Which is what they start to call it now. You got to try that. You got to try conch fritters. You got to try key lime pie. Key lime pie, you got to try rum cake. I mean, there's so much good food in the South. I don't care if it comes from Louisiana, Florida, Georgia, wherever. There's always good food. Which, if I lived in America, I probably would weigh a lot more than I weigh now. Because here, you know, now, like, I stick to the same foods pretty much all the time. At least, you know, most of the time, I eat the same foods on a regular basis, and I just switch them up a little bit. And then once in a while, I eat something where I don't stick to a decent diet or something. Once in a while, I'll change it up. But most of the time, I'm eating pretty well. And you know, my wife, she'll cook up some curry sometimes. Oh, my God. I tell her, stop eating the curry. She can't help herself. She's got to have curry like every day or two. She's got to have curry. And I don't want to have curry every day. I can't eat it. So only once, maybe once a month, once every 2 months, I'll have the curry. It's from Baton Rouge, and she could cook. I won't eat Western for the next few months, except when I cook. Well, I'm a little bit tired of Thai food, to be honest. You know, I get in that mode where I'm tired of it. You know, I have to eat something really, really good. You know, the freshness of veg there is killer. Fruit too. I just went to the market yesterday and bought a bunch of fresh veggies. I do that often. I go to the market and get fresh veggies. I do that all the time. The wife buys the fruit. I don't usually eat too much fruit at all. I used to. Hash browns and omelet. Yeah, I may have some hard-boiled eggs today. I'm not gonna have an omelet today. I already had the omelet here. I had the omelet with the only thing that wasn't keto was that piece of bread, but it was a piece of like rye bread. So I don't know. Crab cakes was so good. And my wife, she went out on 2 occasions and bought a kilo of crab meat. Oh my God. And we had crab omelets, we had crab cakes, we had crab fried rice, we had crab this, crab that. I think when 2 Quarters Korean made it over to my house to watch the UFC, he had some crab cakes. She made some crab cakes and they were phenomenal. I mean, you know, she made like 25 of them. And you can only eat 2 or 3 of them at a time. They fill you up, you know. They're so good. I just think about it. That's one of my favorite foods. You know, if I was to compile a list of my favorite foods, crab cake would be in the top 10. And rum cake is another one. Key lime pie. But, you know, I can't touch these things very often. Once a year, maybe. You know, and my mother she's terrible. You know, she's like every mother. Oh, don't worry, eat this. Just don't eat too much of it, but eat it. You can have it. The next day, it's like there's, you know, chocolate chip cookies. They're huge on the counter, and she's, oh, don't worry, you can eat some of it. I'm like, no, Mom, I don't want to eat this. Why not? You need to eat. You're gonna starve. I'm like, I'm not gonna starve the way you're cooking. And then it's like, you know, there's all kinds of, there's pecan pie, there's pumpkin pie, there's apple pie. Oh my God! And she always buys this stuff. Well, I'm only buying it for you guys because you're on vacation. So, you know, remember that. You're on vacation. Just eat like you're on vacation. I'm like, I've lost weight. I'm in good shape. And I don't want to get out of shape. And I don't want to have to work to lose it, you know. So, yeah, peach cobbler's good. Strawberry rhubarb. Oh. I don't want to think about this stuff. I just saw... They had what is it? I don't know, it's on one of the other tables. Tiramisu. I love tiramisu. Tiramisu is 180 baht. And I don't want it. And it's not because it's 180 baht. That's about the normal price. It's 150 to about 220 baht. That's the range. But I don't want to eat tiramisu because I know it's not good for me. So today when I go home, I'll be eating one of my normal foods. I'll be eating some chicken and, you know, some vegetables. Maybe I'll have some hard-boiled eggs. I don't know. But I won't be eating anything extremely tasty for a little while. So, but my weight is good. And I still need to lose. I think I need to lose about 10 more kilos, and I'll be about as good a shape as I can be in. But I do notice that, although I'm a little better at yogurt, I'm getting better at the yoga. I've noticed that there are some things I'm just not going to be able to do. I just can't do them. I never will do them. Whether it's because of my hip, whether it's because I'm getting old. And that's the thing. I noticed after an hour of yoga, whether it's difficult or not, I feel it. Hoi Todd. I mean, you know, that's a standard one. That's like Pad Thai. Hoi Todd is very good. Pad Thai is always very good. I'm on the carnivore diet and I have lost 30 kilos. Well, awesome. That's awesome. Usually I'm on like something like the keto. I won't say that I'm the strictest. Every once in a while I'll get into a mode where, like, for a couple of weeks or a couple of months straight, I'm on the keto, and then sometimes I just I'll be on a carnivore diet. And usually I'm only on that for a week or two at a time, if that. You know, like today I had this breakfast. I don't usually eat breakfast. Usually I have the bulletproof coffee, which, you know, I buy plenty of good butter, and then I put it in my coffee and I drink it, and I'm not hungry. I don't eat until like 3 or 4 o'clock now. So, anyway, mix it up. Yeah, the intermittent fasting. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, usually I eat once a day. Sometimes I'll eat 2 times a day. Like today I'll eat twice in the day. I have my breakfast. And then later tonight I'll have something, you know, for dinner, and it won't be that heavy. So, anyway, all right, listen. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. Sometimes I forget to eat. Well, you know what is funny is when you're not eating all the time, when you're eating less often, your appetite kind of subsides a little bit. And then once you start eating, then you're like, oh, well, I gotta have something else. There's a lot of foreigners coming to this place. A lot of foreigners, a lot of Japanese. I just see another foreigner coming in right now. There's a couple of Japanese over here. So, The fasting shrinks your stomach. I don't know what this guy is doing here. Maybe he's joining someone up here. I don't know. Eating often, it just gets bigger and bigger, and you eat more and more. And your pants don't fit. Well, yeah, I don't have that problem anymore. And actually, like, you know, I can go out and buy a shirt off the rack, and it's usually if it's U.S., it's like like I said, I'm in between an XL and an L. If it's Thai, it's usually XL or XXL. But they fit very well, and so I got plenty of clothes now. I don't need more clothes. You know, I've worked it out to where everything fits well, and I'm very comfortable, so can't complain. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the people who joined me today and who joined in the conversation. Yeah, I mean, that looks good. All the food here looks very, very good. Here comes a couple of Thais. So this place is very busy now. When I came up here, there was nobody sitting up here. Nobody at all. I was the only person in this place. And now I'm not. So that tells you something. This place is popular. Would I recommend it? I would say yes. I'd recommend it. But be prepared to pay a little bit, because it isn't cheap. But again, they put the espresso price in with cappuccino, and it's almost as priced as much as the dirty coffee. And I don't know why they did that, but I think their espresso price is too high. 135 baht for a double espresso is too high. And there is no choice, like, oh, I can get a solo for 110 or something. There's no choice. You get the espresso, and that's what you get. So I would remember that. A dirty coffee is like what, it's got some cream and milk, and the cream and the milk is chilled in a freezer, and then they put an espresso in it, and it's tasty. It's good. I like it. Once in a while, I like it. So, but usually the gauge is the espresso. Espresso or a cappuccino if they don't have an espresso, like the place yesterday, which I couldn't believe they don't have an espresso. How do you not have an espresso? The only reason that you don't have an espresso is because maybe the machine is not capable of making one. And they had two machines that you push a button and the coffee comes right out. Those girls do nothing. They are not barista. They are button pushers. And that was it. You know, they push the button, you get your drink, and it is what it is. And I didn't want to try with another drink to see if it tastes well, because the one that I got was not very good. It didn't meet my standards, my high standards. So anyway, thank you once again. I appreciate it, and I will see you, I don't know, maybe on Tuesday. Tuesday or Friday, I'll see you. Probably Tuesday, but I got to think of some things and figure out where I want to go. I would like to go somewhere a little bit different, not just a coffee shop. So we'll see. Anyway, thank you very much. Thanks again, and I will talk to you all later. Till next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok, here at Kaizen on Ekamai. And let's see, Choke D, Leo Jerk and Mai. That's good luck, and see you later. See you later, alligator. Mañana. No, not mañana. Wanakan. I forget in Spanish what it is, but I'd have to think about it. Anyway, I'll see you later.